when Professor McFarland, my first semester CMA professor, my film professor, assigned us this paper, he asked us to write about a movie that had imprinted us in some way. And he gave us a few prompts to choose from. One of them was, do a scene analysis. Choose a scene in the film and talk about lighting, talk about editing, talk about mise en scène. Another prompt was genre. It was, how does this film play with genre? What does genre do in this movie? And I very much felt from the start that I was going to do the scene analysis. I was going to choose a scene, write a bunch of stuff about it, and I thought that would be my best bet. And I knew that I was going to either write about The Shawshank Redemption or Everything Everywhere All at Once. Shawshank was a movie my parents had shown me, and we watch it every once in a while as a family, so in that way it was close to me. And Everything Everywhere All at Once was a film that I couldn't really explain its imprint on me. I couldn't explain why it was so important to me, but it was. I eventually decided on writing about Everything Everywhere All at Once because I thought it would be challenging because there was so much there. I first saw Everything Everywhere All at Once when it came out. I saw it in theaters. I was 30 minutes late the first time I saw it. I missed the beginning. But it still had a huge impact on me. I felt so empty inside during those rock scenes, back and forth between pessimistic nihilism and optimistic nihilism. That's how I kind of dubbed it, the nothing matters and nothing matters kind of mindsets. I saw it a second time in theaters because I loved it and I wanted to show more of my friends. And then I decided to watch it again for this project. I felt it necessary. And I rented the movie for $4.99 on Amazon. And I sat down and watched it, ready to choose a scene to write the analysis on. But I very much just wrote notes about the entire movie because I had so much I wanted to say about the director choice here and the dialogue here and the mood here and the lighting here and all of those things. And there's just so many Easter eggs in that film. And I found it hard to categorize my thoughts and put them under all on one umbrella. So I was writing without knowing where I was going. I had kind of lost my prompt. And when I tried to put some things out onto paper, I was writing some sentences down that I knew I wanted to be in this paper because they were things I really wanted to say. And so I started this paper without a title, without a thesis. So in the end, I would very much say my ideas inspired my title, not vice versa. But I started to realize that I think Everything Ever All at Once, the question it begs of its viewer is very much genre, and what genre is this film? And so when I reconsidered the prompts, I realized that the prompt I had completely thrown out at first was the one I really wanted to answer, and the film really wanted me to answer. So I started to look at genre, and I started to categorize my notes, and I realized that so many of them sprouted from this question of genre that Everything Ever All at Once messes with is genre. It plays with so many different moods, so many different atmospheres, and I think that's what makes its message so hard-hitting. I rented the movie again for $4.99, so this paper cost me $10 to write. And I started to group my thoughts, and I wrote them down, and I realized that it's very hard to categorize this film into one genre because it has such serious topics, such serious questions, but also has this very action film mood at times, and it makes you cry as much as it makes you laugh. And it really is a very fascinating use of genre because you're not going into it with any sort of expectation, and you kind of leave wondering how it affected you so much because the mood and the genre is so unknown from beginning to end, and it makes its message so potent because you didn't expect it at all. It switches back and forth so very much that you are not ready to doubt it, and you're not ready to say no to anything because there's nothing there. Like when you sit down and watch a horror movie, you're ready to be scared and you're ready to laugh at the characters because why would they go down the stairs? Why would they go to the basement? But with Everything Ever All at Once, you're not ready for anything. You're not putting any sort of shields up. And it really opens you up to this really, really hard-hitting message, and that's what I wrote about. And I also related it to a woman we had read in class, Christine Gledhill, in her discussion of genre and how I think it's very much applicable to this film. In the end, I was really proud of this paper and of the very long process it took to create it. I felt like I had really accomplished something when I was done. It taught me a lesson about the decisions we make at the beginning of a project are definitely not set in stone. And my attitudes and thoughts towards this project very much were dynamic as I continued it. In any case, I hope you enjoy reading it, and perhaps it will cause you to think about genre the next time you watch a film.